All right, tariff dividends, and other things. Joining us now is Steve Moore, co-founder of Unleash Prosperity, and Doug Holtz-Eakin, American Action Forum president. Gentlemen, welcome. I'll start with Doug Holtz-Eakin. Mr. Trump once said what he's calling a $2,000 tariff dividend. The details haven't been hashed out yet, but then he said also what's left over from the tariff dividend he can use to pay down the federal debt. What do you think about that?
Well, our estimate is that the tariffs have raised about $2,100, maybe $2,200 per household. So the dividend is essentially all the money, and you really would have to pick. I noticed Speaker Johnson put in a good word for controlling the national debt, and I think that's something that's really important, should be at the top of everyone's mind. It's also an option, Larry, to just sort of not have the tariffs, because if we're going to take the revenue and give it right back, why are we taxing the American people to begin with? Why don't we get the tariffs out of the way and build on the pro-growth expensing, the R&D expensing, and the things that were in the reconciliation bill this summer, and that's always been a recipe for better economic growth.
Well, the tariffs, of course, represent his reciprocal trade views, and they do change the marginal cost of importing and exporting. But I don't know, Steve Moore, I don't know if the numbers work or not. I'm just saying the thought, I mean, everyone's running around, they're talking about, everyone's talking about affordability and this and that. I think what Mr. Trump's trying to say is, okay, I'm going to help you even more. Now, maybe not. Scott Besson said he might be talking about the tips and tax-free tips and overtime pay, which is in the one big beautiful bill, and all that's going to get paid out in January. Maybe that's what he's talking about, or maybe he's got another couple thousand in people's hands. Not the worst thing in the world, Steve. You know.
Well, I don't like the government sending out checks to people, Larry, but I like the original Trump idea going back to the very start, when he was talking about tariffs, and he said, okay, let's use the tariffs to eliminate the income tax, or at least substantially cut it. So I'd like to go back to that idea, Larry, of let's use whatever tariff revenue we have to make America super competitive by lowering our corporate tax rate and our individual income tax rate. I think that would be much better for the U.S. economy than sending people checks. And don't forget, by the way, we talked about this last week, people are going to get a big tax cut next year with the almost doubling, the double impact of how much money is withheld from their paycheck, because people didn't have the benefit of the pay cut, the income tax cut this year. They're going to get it next year. That's going to be a nice surprise for people in their paychecks.
Well, maybe, if you end the filibuster, as the president's proposing, you could finally get back to a 15% income tax rate for individuals and corporations. Right?
I love it.
I mean, you can do anything if you end the filibuster. Doug Holtz-Eakin, you want to end the filibuster? I know you're not a voting senator, but I just thought I'd toss that out.
I'm not a voting senator, but because nothing makes me more terrified than the thought of a Democratic majority without a filibuster. So, no, I think they should hold on to this and, play a little defense in advance.
How about, Dougie, how about a 50-year mortgage? What about that? New proposal from Mr. Pulte, Bill Pulte.
Well, I'm glad that someone's thinking about the housing issues, but I don't think I'd go there. In the end, what you want people to do is accumulate equity. He tweeted that out. I think that's the right thing. And you're not accumulating much equity with a 50-year mortgage. You're paying a lot of interest for a $400,000 mortgage, 6% interest. You pay about $400,000 in interest over a 30-year mortgage. It's $860,000 over a 50-year mortgage. I don't think people want to be paying a bunch of interest. They want to be building equity. I'd stick with the 30.
Steve Moore, what if I made it a gold-backed mortgage? No, just kidding. Some people want gold-backed bonds. You have a thought on that? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But, go ahead.
I have a better idea on how to solve the housing affordable issue. Why not allow people one time a capital gains tax cut on their principal residence? You've got a situation now where people in their 70s, 80s, they want to downsize, they want to sell their house, but they have so much appreciation in the valuation of it. You could get people to sell their homes when they're older, free up, because, look, I've got 3 kids in their 30s, late 20s. They can't possibly afford to buy a house right now. If you free up that money and that housing, you'll deal terrifically with the problem of an undersupply of housing in America.
Listen, if you end
Steve, great idea, but why one time? Do it permanently.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
And if you end the if you
Even
end,
better.
if you end the filibuster, Doug and Steve, it'll be a lot easier to just abolish the capital gains tax. I have a list of things that I want to end by ending the filibuster. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
I know the Democrats will be awful.
Just wait till AOC is running the Senate. Then I don't think you'd want the filibuster.
Well, that could be, who knows? That could be sooner than you think. Anyway, one other one. Steve, wait, I'll go to Doug on this. Doug, Steve Moore in particular, but redirecting Obamacare, I would say this for all health care spending. Why not just go direct? Give the money, the subsidies in Obamacare or other health care plans. You can put it in your health savings account, or you can just give it directly. Let's bypass the insurers, Doug Holtz-Eakin. How about that?
Yes.
So, look, this is not working. Let's not kid ourselves about that. And
Right.
it was a bad idea from the beginning. I mean, I and many others had a lot to say about the poor design that was going on here. But the key is to actually have health insurance that works. Insurance is a valuable product. There's a reason people want to have health insurance, but this is not a working insurance market, and we're seeing the result of that. Let's not just take the money out. Let's reform the whole thing.
Steve Moore, 30 seconds.
But you also need price transparency. People have to know what this stuff costs. Nobody ever asks in healthcare, what do things cost? You do that with the combination of a catastrophic health insurance policy. People are getting ripped off by the healthcare system, not just by how much it costs, but it's money out of the paycheck of the workers.
You know, this, I got another one. If you end the filibuster, you can abolish Obamacare. Listen, these have been a Republican wish list. They almost got it back in 2017. Not quite. I'm just saying, fellas, Mr. Trump might be on to something. Anyway, thank you, Steve Moore, Doug Holtz-Eakin. Appreciate it very, very much.